Did you just notice that they had messy pillows? Because of course everyone always in a model makes sure the pillows are perfect, and those were just like thrown on the couch.
I'm just waiting for these kinds of designs to really just kind of merge with reality. People will be building these things in The Sims, but it could also be a model for your own house.
I'm seeing we need a guardrail upstairs. That's not going to work out very well for anybody. Right on. Right. Ben, does this look familiar?
It looks familiar because it has some of the same ideas that are present in some of the modeling software that we use, but The Sims doesn't look familiar to me anymore because it's been a long time since I played it.
Interesting. In some ways, it's more sophisticated than Minecraft, right? A little bit? Or maybe the details are more articulated.
Yeah, I think you have more tools in your toolbox. Everything is not just a block. Yeah, I mean, consequently, in Minecraft, things often end up looking like Mayan architecture or hacking blocks. In this, it looks like you've got more pre-designed objects that you can use. Like, look at those floor joists. You've got columns. You've got surfaces you can apply to something. You've got transparency that you can, glass and doors with frames. There's scale to the world. Minecraft is sort of a beauty-scaled universe.
I think it's interesting that it's kind of, in a way, you could use AutoCAD or Revit a little bit like this. They have those pre-scripted appliances and doors and things that one could pop in. And we don't really actually use those sort of preset tools, but one conceivably could.
This is a lot like object-based building information modeling that you would see in Revit or in Vectorworks or in ArchiCAD, where a door is a door and the system knows that it's a door, and you can drop a door into a wall and it will make an opening in that wall, and then the door will show up on a schedule, and the door will have glass in it if you just check a box. I always think of it as a little bit like it's like shopping for your building when you design things in those kind of bin systems. Not exactly, but this is sort of similar.
The bunny sculpture.
Yeah, I mean, they're presenting it as though it's like, these look like they were somebody's interior design portfolio.
That's kind of how our modeling used to look back in the day. The CGI rendering.
Yeah, this is a lot more realistic than Minecraft. The walls have nuance in the thickness of things and the level of detail. It's not just blocks.
Glass cube. Well, first we have to make a topography to disturb with the glass cube, maybe. This is like the plateau function, or butte. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not all that different than even SketchUp. They're going to drop that door and it cuts a hole in the wall. Boom, 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 boom. I manually cut it.
I mean, that's what our early modeling for architecture, right? Form Z, that was all like that.
You had to build everything as though it was a unique object. In this case, I don't know how exactly The Sims works, but in BIM, you want a door by Pella. You go to the Pella website, you grab the Revit door that you want, that you specify. You drop it into your model, and it cuts the hole in the wall, gives you textures for the FBX model so that you can render it. It includes all of the information associated with that door. What kind of lock set does it have? What kind of finish does it have? What are the dimensions of it?
Are you paying attention to like the spider superstructure they're creating?
Yeah, this is cool.
So they basically built the curtain wall, and then they added the structure afterwards, which of course it would go the other way. What do you think the neighbors think? They're traditionalists.
I'd like to live next to that thing.
And then the oddly sort of brick core.
That makes no sense.
Now we did another brick interior, two-dimensional fireplace situation, maybe? Yeah, I think their interior taste leaves a little bit to be desired.
I mean, they're using the brick as a decorative interior feature versus, brick is something that can perform structural duties, can be used to hold up the wall, hold up the floor above it. And in this case, I don't think they're thinking about it that way.
They're like, we wanted to go with a New York sort of loft warehouse theme in the neighborhood. So we're going to artificially recreate it. And it's a bachelor pad. We needed the full bar.
I mean, this is like a whole kind of glass cube.
That's a hot tub?
Suspended. Is there a hot tub? I don't know.
But doesn't that look like a hot tub in the middle of the yard?
It does sort of, yeah.
Oh, it was advanced planned.
Planter beds. Is that what this is?
So you can hot tub and then garden. I don't think the neighbors like these neighbors at all. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, it's a pool.
That's kind of cool. That looks pretty good.
In the Sims world, the rusticated brick, like that, people like think of it as like a look, but it's restored 19th century building because somebody chose to just kind of chisel off some of the plaster that was over the brick and make it, keep it, give it this kind of antiqued, patinaed feel. Doesn't really make sense in a modern building.
I think you're talking about authenticity in architecture too, which is something that we architects like a lot. But do remember that they built all the zoo rock behind this artificially, and then you don't actually see it in the glass house like you might in some of the Palm Springs sort of case study houses where the boulder sort of protrudes into the glass house. Then they kind of lost it with the brick. Well, the whole point of a container house is that you don't build it.
Right, you're buying a modular unit. Exactly.
So this is like a certain emulation of aesthetic that misses the point of the original thing.
I don't. Well, you might have spoke too soon. I don't see the container yet.
But it's got that cant on top of each other like a container house. Oh, that's convenient. Just raise it up a little.
Oh, wow.
It is the style of a container house.
This person thinks of the container as they associate it with the corrugated metal on the side. This is a opportunity to make a shout out to low-tech architects in New York who are fantastic at working with containers.
Cool. Oh, wait, we're doing a lot of interior walls.
Containers are weird. They're such a small space that they're hard to subdivide. Typically, you'll see them just used as a single room, or you'll take two and then you'll cut out the corrugated metal between them and make them continuous as one.
Mm-hmm. They're only 8 by 40.
Is that the proportion? They're 8 feet high, something.
I think you can get 8.5. There's one that's slightly larger, but yeah, they're either 20 or 40 long and about 8 feet wide. They have a spool. My dad has one of these. It's like can be a hot tub or a small pool. This is very millennial, the color scheme.
Oh, the pink?
Yeah.
Yeah, that pink
The
color,
whole like kind of precious, fresh aesthetic.
Yeah, they've definitely taken the container and aestheticized it, right? They just like the look and feel of the container. The logic of the way the building is put together doesn't follow a container.
Yeah, I thought at first it was a red, like it was sort of varnished, but now I'm seeing the whole flamingo sort of Barbie world of this one.
Pink and palm trees go hand in hand in the popular imagination.
It's Miami.
It's Miami or some version of LA. There it is. But it doesn't look like Miami.
It's pretty attractive. I mean, they definitely had an architectural concept guided by the container idea of the way that they're stacked, for sure.
And that beam that's holding up the containers actually seems kind of how you do it as well. Pretty accurate. Yeah, these are very trendy colors. You can probably speak. You're involved in a lot of interior projects, Alexis. What do you?
Yeah, even like the feathery, dried fan flower thing that we passed. But it's pretty sophisticated too.
I'm just waiting for these kinds of designs to really just kind of merge with reality. People will be building these things in The Sims, but it could also be
I know that rug.
A model for your own house. You have that rug?
No, I know it. It's like a Safavier rug. It's very affordable. So I think we spec'd it for a surf lodge we did in the Marshall Islands.
Can you buy things out of The Sims yet? Can you actually are some of these cabinetry and the rugs, like you said?
Right. Or I was just thinking that, West Elm should offer all their modeling objects. And then it drives sales back, for sure.
I bet that's got to already be happening. I mean, that's where things are headed. And if it's not happening here, it's probably about to happen in Fortnite. I'm
seeing we need a guardrail upstairs. That's not going to work out very well for anybody.
According to code, this person's not getting this project permitted.
They didn't apply for permits. Well, especially because those stairs don't have any structure to them either. What I wanted to say on the last one, which I didn't get a chance actually, but was that the interior looks like something you would find in an interior design magazine to some extent. And there's this sort of sophisticated minimalism that has swept over every single design press. It used to be that there was a differentiation in like the kinds of aesthetics. But now there's this one, the result of social media, there's this one sweeping aesthetic that gets picked up on.
Yeah. I saw somebody in a Instagram reel try to reduce what they thought was the dominant interior design trends into like a minute video. They basically said something to the effect of, maximalism is over. They showed some pictures of what they thought was that aesthetic, and then they talked about this kind of, as what you're describing, this kind of minimal, cream-dominated, kind of pale alabaster sort of tones for everything, beiges that you'd see in like the latest, or 2 years ago, you'd see in a Kelly Wearstler hotel, right? They were saying that's the trend. So throw out everything and start anew with this new look.
Going back to that sort of 90s neutrals, Calvin Klein-y kind of world like that. It's the whole stealth wealth, quiet luxury conversation of things going a bit more conservative and blah, blah. Oh, wait. Did you just notice that they had messy pillows, which I love because, of course, everyone always in a model makes sure the pillows are perfect, and those were just like thrown on the couch. I think it's kind of amazing that you can see the awareness of each individual person. You can see their awareness of how much they're aware of design trends, and their sort of taste is super obvious in both of them.
It gives the designer more tools in their toolkit, and it also seems that the selection of objects is updated fairly often. So the whole design environment influences the way they design and can kind of push them towards certain trends, because that's what's contained in their toolkit.
Thanks for watching. If you want to find more of me, I'm Alexis Redinger. I can be found on Instagram at Preen Inc. And for more Gamology, check out YouTube or Facebook.
I'm Benjamin Ball. You can find me at Ball Megas Studio on Instagram.